What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. It's the middle of the week show, the hump day show. It's Wednesday.
Hump day, yes.
Roster management. We'll call it Rasta management. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. That was good. I just thought of that right now.
Yeah, right?
Is Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm gonna have to change that. I'm gonna take that over. We're gonna change that to the Rasta management show. I like that. So I'm here with my boy Frank, man. What's up, Frank?
What's up, people? How we doing today? Happy hump
Awesome.
day. Yeah, it's good.
It is, man. So we're getting into it here. We got Stranded on second with Tony Clark saying, "What up? What up?" And then we got Drunk Squidward in the house. Hello, y'all. What's up? We got Neanderthal making his appearance in here. What up? What up?
So,
And we'll get it going, man. So again, this is our roster management show. It's midweeks. Waivers, cleared. The dust kind of settled. We're kind of looking forward, trying to get our lineups right, man, for this week. So we're gonna go through it here. Talk a little bit, trades. We're gonna actually kind of get a little bit into trade theory since I kind of missed the other, trade episodes. I didn't get to kind of put my
get
imprint,
your get your
on the
juice in there.
trade show. And as you guys know, on our website, getrightff.com, on my little bio, it says the trade guru there. So I do like to trade, as most people know. I'm known as the dentist because I always try to squeeze out every little piece of value that I can out of a trade. And negotiations with me are kind of like going to the dentist, apparently. So that's what you guys have to deal with. But this is my favorite episode, man. We're going to get into some guys here that we're looking to buy, we're looking to sell, and maybe guys that we're just kind of, in the middle on. Maybe best thing to do might be just be hold out, just hold them and kind of see how things play out. Maybe the value goes up, it could go down. But again, these are the gambles and risks that we're willing to take. So, of course, we'll at the end of that, we'll do a quick little Thursday night preview of our game this week, and I believe it's Dolphins at Bengals. Bengals are going to be wearing their whiteout jerseys, so that should be a lot of fun. And
Squigger's already chiming in on that game. The Dolphins and Lions players are all questionable.
all questionable, yeah. So we know
There is
the
a lot of guys questionable.
it
Yeah.
literally questionable with what happened with Tua. Obviously, we all saw him basically smack his head off the ground, get all wobbly in the knees, and then they say, "Oh, is he just re-aggravated a back injury from earlier in the game?" Sounds like one of my kids when I asked them what happened. And so, who knows, man? Not getting a straight thing, but apparently, they're questionable for that. So, yeah, we got Jalen Waddle dealing with a little bit of things there. So we'll definitely get into that. What up, Ron? What up? What up? Saying, hey, 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 we're here. And we have Val's the Goat in here. Should I trade Marquise Brown and Zeke for Waddle? So these are definitely guys, at least I have on my buy sell trade list here today that we're going to talk to. But just to give you a quick short answer there, Goat, and we hope you did like and subscribe the video for us when you're watching here. Throw those questions in the chat. But just my quick answer to that is I'd see if I could, again, I'm the dentist, as I said before. I'd see if I can get another piece. I don't think Waddle's worth both of them, but both Brown and Zeke are on my sell list this week if you can. And Waddle, would definitely be, kind of a target I wouldn't, be afraid to go after. So I know I kind of took a long time answering that question, Frank, but how you feeling on that?
Good. I'm partial to Zeke, but I see where you're coming with it. He's had a good couple weeks now, but he is getting the majority of the carry still. Till that changes, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you're selling high on him in a way. I don't know if you're going to get a lot for him, but I definitely wouldn't trade Marquise Brown and Zeke for Waddle. I don't think that Waddle is going to replace those kind of numbers. Marquise is not doing bad. I don't see him like who's there? Just Dortch over there with them right now, right?
Yeah, but
And
remember,
then we have
D Hop
but
coming back.
D Hop's coming back, but that's only going to affect Dortch, not Marquise Brown. I don't think. I mean, there's only
Mm,
so many targets, and I think that I just don't think he's going to fall off as bad as you guys think he is.
there it is. All right.
I think that the one that's going to get damaged is Dortch. Do you know what I mean? Like,
All right. Fair enough. No, I like it. And that's why we have different takes on here for you. Is it vowels or vols? I don't know. I got my glasses on here. But either way, we'll just call you the goat. Um,
Val's.
So again, we appreciate it, man. And we'll again, I'd like to get a little more than just Waddle. You might be able to shoot a little higher. Maybe go after his teammate, Tyreek Hill. Maybe you can get one of those guys. So yeah, see what else you can get. So we'll just kind of get into it here.
I'd say 2 for 2 on that run right there.
And we'll take our breaks and get to the chat. So definitely drop them in there as we go. So just before we kind of get into everything here, as people are rolling into the stream, I of course want to thank our sponsors here, UnderdogFantasy.com. When you go there, man, check them out. Make a deposit. Use that promo code GetRight, and when you do, they will match your deposit up to $100, 100% match. So that's basically $200 you can start with and start throwing some bets down. They're basically a nice big best ball platform. They do have daily, weekly, best ball drafts that you can do. So it's just kind of a different way to play your DFS versus kind of having like a budget and that type of thing. You actually just get to draft guys. You don't have to worry about it. You're not going against duplicate teams and things like that. And then of course they have their pick'em side of things. You can do over unders, get the rivalry picks going on. Who's going to score the most points, score the most TDs. It's a lot of fun when you start getting those parlay bets going there. You could win up to 20 times your money, and they even have like insurance, so you can match if you only match 4 of 6 or something like that. You can still win a fraction of your payout and still not have to hit your full card. So again, check them out on UnderdogFantasy.com. And they do have that best ball resurrection going on as well for a $10 entry, chance to win 100,000. So use that promo code, get right. All right, so got that out of the way.
Nice. Take care of the business.
Yeah, gotta take care of that. That's how we stay on the air right there.
Throw the brand up there so we can get the Underdog in there.
Perfect. Yeah, we should have done that earlier. Sorry, Underdog. We'll get it.
I'm on it for you. I'm your backup.
You're all over it. You're all over it. All right, man. So let's get into it, man. So I thought we'd just kind of start the show off like this, kind of just set the tone, and just talk maybe a little bit of more general trade theory before we get into actual, trade targets.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the chatter, so.
Well, let it keep going. You can watch that. I'll let you do that.
Yeah, we'll build it up. I got a guy I want to talk about.
Yeah, you find out. You go through it while I'm laying this stuff out here, and then you take control of that. If I see something, I'll pull it up, but I'll leave the chat duties to you tonight, Frank. So get mad at Frank if your chat doesn't get read tonight, guys. All right, so
right, throw me under the bus.
Yeah, throw you right under the bus and back up and go forward again. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit of trade theory here real quick. I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the chat, what you think about these things. Just kind of going over some basic things, when you're trying to negotiate a trade, because, it is the art of a trade. I kind of find it funny. A lot of guys that are really into fantasy football are actually sales guys. I'm in sales, you're in sales. I know Tycoon is in sales. We know a bunch of people in this industry that are in sales that love themselves some fantasy football. And a big part of it is because of trades. You get to buy and sell people. It's the best part about it, trying to get some value, trying to predict the future. And I would say probably the number one just rule of thumb of trading is just the age-old adage, buy low, sell high, right? So whether that's drafting, someone late, them, raising their value and you're selling them off at peak value to get someone who's maybe underperforming that you think will, come through later. Or you're packaging some of these guys that didn't necessarily cost you a lot of draft capital to get you guys that are more staple, type guys that you can feel comfortable with week in, week out to produce fantasy points for you, on your team each week. So again, buy low, sell high, and, kind of rule of thumb for the most part, if you're getting the best player in the trade, generally, it's usually that's the better side of the trade, right? Now there's situations and things, and kind of that's the next point that I like to bring up is understanding who your trade partner is, what their record is, where they stand, of course, in the standings, the type of build that they have, find out what they're looking for, because a lot of the times when we get asked these trade questions, we're kind of thinking of it in a vacuum. A lot of things are relevant when it comes to making trades. We got to know how big the, league is. Is it 10 team, 12 team, 14, 16? Are we talking super flex? Are we talking, dynasty, redraft? There's a lot of these things that, go into it, the scoring format, PPR, non-PPR. So we have to know a lot of these things to truly rate or find out kind of where a trade is. So again, the art of negotiating a trade, there's a lot that really goes into it. It's not just cut and dry, this guy for this guy, at least to me. And maybe that's why I'm considered the dentist, is because when these type of things come up, this is what, I'm looking at
I
and
don't
the
know if
things
you've
that I'm paying attention.
anybody's ever traded with Anthony, but he'll send you a paragraph in a text as to
That was the
why
old Anthony. I don't do that
that
anymore.
text is that trade is good for you to take, and that's just the salesman. I mean, but I mean, to your point, it's just about knowing the structure that you're in, right? Obviously, first, and what's somebody willing to move or not move on. Some guys like me, I don't trade that often.
Right.
I'm gonna stick to my guy. I try to have a good draft, hold my guys, but then there's also times where opportunity and necessity makes it a good point to do it. You know what I mean? But I've traded in during the draft before.
Hmm.
Traded guys before they're even on my bench. Really, it just didn't fall in love with the guy. And it's like whatever, the guy's going. It just didn't make it made sense at the time. So, um, but a lot of it I think has to do with the opportunity of the guy that you have, how high, how good he's going, and how bad the other guy's going. I really think it's a whole lot like you have in your notes, buy low, sell high type thing or whatnot. Either way is what generates people to move and or somebody who's having a really bad record. You know what I mean? Sometimes the team just doesn't mesh right. And Anthony and I talked a lot about that when your team's just not the right players with them and you move a couple players around. Next, everybody's scoring good for whatever reason. I don't know what that comes down to, but uh, there's really a lot of times you got to just move that player off your team and just hope for the best because whatever you got right now is not working, right? So you got to make
Mhm.
that move.
Yeah, and it's like I always say when you're drafting, when you're managing a team, you got to be fluid, just like when you're drafting. Be water. So if an opportunity presents itself, don't be afraid to take advantage of it. So again, there's also some things that I have noted here is as far as what makes someone like want to trade, right? Either they're underproducing, compared to where you felt they were, what your outlook or outtake is. Sometimes it's due to injury and now you need to fill this void. So you're kind of trading, a short-term, gain, for a long-term piece to somebody that's not in that situation. So for example, for me, and I've heard a lot of debates back and forth, and I'd love to hear you guys here in the chat what you guys think. Or if you're watching this later, drop a comment in the video. What's your thought on trading for injured players? So I'll just start here with the only guy I have in the room, Frank. What's your thought on trading for or trading away injured players?
I think
More so trading
it's
for.
yeah, I think it's a good strategy for the person, I guess, that's in a good position and can receive an injured player, right? Because that guy doesn't need to start him right away. Obviously, it's the position that they're in. So it's usually somebody who's doing well. And then you have the guy that basically you have not necessarily maybe a immediate need, but a soon to come need. Because some of the time you got to let that 1 week happen where it's like they had a bad week, but they're going to be playing well. So let's just go get that guy, right? So you have to find the player that could ever withstand taking somebody that needs to hold him because he knows the value. A lot of it has to do with the value, the perceived value of that player, right? What the other person thinks they may do in the future, because obviously that's all you're banking on. He's hurt right now. You can't start him, can't play him. He's going to be on your bench or your IR. So it's the perceived value that they have in there. But as long as the guy's doing pretty good, it's usually the guy you can target to be like, hey, you're doing all right. We could better your team in the future, but you got to give this guy up now. And that's the guy that they're willing to move. I think and
Exactly.
a lot of it happens that way, but it's the perceived value of a player is really what the key.
Hmm.
And you could,
And
talk it up.
yeah. Well, and
Give
on
some
that note,
stats.
right. On that note too, you can't downplay the person you're trying to trade so bad because then they're gonna be like, well, why the hell are you trying to trade them? You're like, why are you trying to trade for them? So you kind of have to watch what you say when it comes to that. So when I do write that paragraph, as you say, it's
Yeah.
generally meant to just kind of point out like how you see their roster. And obviously with what we do, I don't want to say like analysts, we're definitely, very amateur analysts here, doing this part time. But we've, been around long enough, seen enough rosters to kind of understand, what a build is. Obviously, with what we do with our Friday night mocks and doing draft grades and things like that, we analyze good rosters.
Oh yeah.
And at least we feel like what they need, not necessarily the guys. So to me, it's really finding out, what, they need and what you're seeing in that, team to say, hey, this is beneficial for both of us. It's a risk on both sides, or look, I may be getting the, better end of it on the front end, or maybe you're getting the better end of it, but I'm either giving you quantity for quality because you need some depth and I'm trying to improve my starters, or, vice versa. So again, it all comes down to all those different factors, record, standing, team construction, and all that. So, again, we know a lot of the people that watch us here, they're pretty, advanced, but for those that are, newer to it, I did want to just kind of spend some time on, just kind of trade theory before we get, into these actual trades here and, guys we're trying to target, because to me, it just kind of sets the tone on a lot of the, conversation we're going to have here shortly, why some of these trades would make sense, and when and what what type of team you're looking to trade that has this player, because again, it's not going to be the same in every league. So you just have to kind of mix and match some of these guys to pull off what you think is going to be beneficial for your specific league and your specific scoring setting. So with that said, have you gotten in the chat here, Frank, and
Well, yeah,
have
I'm gonna
anybody
throw
in
that
here that
stranded
we want
on
to get
two
to?
first, real quick, just because he's the one that intrigued me the most first. Does Trevor Lawrence do better than Wentz did against the Eagles this week? I would say they're about 50-50 chance because the Eagles defense is very good. But Trevor Lawrence is playing pretty well. Would he do better than Wentz? I think Wentz threw a couple of interceptions that game though. But overall, he did what? How many yards did he have? You remember, Anthony? Like 225 or something like that, if I remember.
Who?
Um, so
Wentz?
I think he'd be doing about the same. I don't think he's going to have a good game. This is not the game that Trevor Lawrence is going to be doing great on. But right after the Eagles, he has a couple games that are soft. So I think that's where he's going to shine.
Yeah.
Um, Also, I picked up Khalil Herbert off of waivers. Do I start him over James Robinson or Jamal Williams
No,
this
no,
week?
no, no, no.
Um, and I would say no. I would say
You got Jamal Williams getting potentially 20 plus touches against Seattle defense, and you
yeah,
got James Robinson. I mean, if anything, maybe he's the one, but to
he's the
me,
one. I'd start Jamal
he's
Williams
just kind
over
of like your better
either of
guy
these two.
right now. Against this Philly D is what's tough, but we know, what Jacksonville's trying to do. And I mean, they, did it, they did okay. I mean, they did well against the Chargers. That Chargers defense isn't a slouch either. The Indy defense isn't bad. They're top, towards the top of the league. So I'm not probably sitting someone I just grabbed off the waiver, for him. Um, I mean, he is going up against the Giants. I mean, Zeke and Pollard did have pretty good days. I think they had almost a total combined 200 yards rushing.
100, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a little tough. We do start sit more on Friday, Tony. I know you'll be here with us, so let us
I
get
would,
through
I
the
would,
week
I would give you a
when
quick
we
ranking
start
on him.
doing
I'll
that.
go Jamal Williams just for this week. Jamal Williams, Herbert, and then Robinson.
Ooh, that's spicy. I like it. I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna put the T's in there. Come back and see us on Friday, Tony, and I'll give you my answer. All right. So who else you got here? Any other
Let's go to
questions,
Drunk
man?
Squidward. Since we were talking trades, did a move on my dynasty league with the Superflex. I traded Patrick Mahomes for J.K. Dobbins, Jimmy G, Brandon Ayuk, and Isaiah. Likely was it a good was it a horrible move?
I'd probably say yes. I mean, Dobbins we're unsure of, could be okay. Jimmy G is nowhere near Mahomes. Ayuk is kind of just one of those middling wide
Yeah,
receiver threes, especially with Jimmy G now, and likely has Andrews in front of him, who's a top tight end. I mean, he's not seeing the field, especially now you got Dobbins and likely. So Squidward, unfortunately, on this one, I'm going to have to rate this like a D plus trade.
yeah, that did not go
Especially
well
in a
for you.
super flex, man. I
You
mean,
need
super flex
quarterbacks that are
quarterbacks are like
premium.
gold. I mean, he's still in a dynasty startup this year. Still probably is going to go in your top 3 to top 5. Um, he's still young. I mean, he's in a down year and still like QB3. I mean, everyone feels like he had one bad
He
game.
also does say, I said, I got Dak Prescott, Zach Wilson, and Geno Smith. I felt like it was good because of my situation. So he feels comfortable with his other quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, again, they call me the dentist, and that's why I said that in the beginning. I felt like for
I think you got raped.
Mahomes, you could have got like a key cornerstone, type piece, or like at least like a Trevor Lawrence, or like one of these kind of younger up and coming, type quarterbacks. At least, Lawrence is looking a lot better this year than he did last year. Other than that, with the scape of quarterback right now, the landscape, I'm probably keeping Mahomes right now. I mean,
And it says, I
that's
forgot to
tough.
mention, I
So
had 2023 picks in the 10-man league. This is a 10-man league.
yeah. Oh, even in a
Yeah.
10-man, yeah,
It's
that's
almost all the
kind of
more
makes it
reason
almost
not
a
to
little
let it go.
worse. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes it even worse, dude.
yeah. I don't know. That's tough, man. That is really, really tough.
Kind of crazy to me right there, right?
Squidward, you're my guy too, but that's a
Yeah.
tough one for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely
gonna
a
have
D.
to I'm gonna have to sleep on that one for a while. I love you, brother. Don't hate me because of that, but maybe you should have hit me up on the DMs first. We would have got through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Hit
at
us
least
up
get
before
yourself
you
a
hit
Brian
upset.
Robinson,
Hit
a
us up
Jameson
before you hit
Williams.
upset.
Yeah, like get something like get some kind of piece that you can get thrown in there instead of an Isaiah Likely and whoever else that was. That's a little tough. So anyway, yeah,
So I
Jimmy
wanted
G.
to just
That's
throw
tough.
this up real quick. His Gits got on here, rate my team. I'm not sure what 3/4 PPR is, but really not
It's
doing
just
too
like
much
it's
to
in
rate
between
my
half
team.
and full PPR, so it's like that.
Is that a
It's a
thing
little
now?
bit better. Yeah, no, I mean it's a little bit better than half PPR, but it
Well, I
doesn't
get
make it
it.
so
I know what it
egregious
is.
at a
I
full
get it.
point
I didn't even
PPR.
know
So
that
it's
was a
like,
thing, though. You know what I
no,
mean? Like
that's
that's what I was
awesome.
saying.
It's gonna be like standard's gonna be gone. Like non PPR is gonna be gone. It's just gonna be half, 3/4, and full. Like that's gonna be the new 3 tiers. I
Oh
like
yeah.
it. Good job, Gits. He's playing in the future. He's playing chess
So
while we're all playing
not
checkers.
not that we're here evaluating teams like that. Because I
Oh,
don't know
what
how to.
was it though? Wait, I didn't
So
even
you
see
didn't
what
see
he
the
said.
rate
I
my
got stuck
12
on it.
man
Yeah.
because I didn't get the whole.
Two
Just
running back, 3 wide
receiver.
receiver league. He has Stafford, Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins, Cup, Evans, Myers, Hawkinson, and Elijah Moore. So yeah, that's not bad for two wide receiver or two running back, two wide receiver. I'd like to, of course, improve that RB2, but it's not bad. I'm wondering who you've been running, lately, and I would like to
Yeah,
improve
who were you
Myers if
running
you
over?
can because he has
Dobbins.
Hoyer coming here soon. I do like that Elijah Moore. I think you hold on him. If you can sell him, actually, maybe put him together with Dobbins and see if you might be able to get a solid
Solid
RB2 there,
RB2.
like an AJ Dillon type. Maybe you might be able to pull something like that off.
But he did have a question. Oh, this is somebody else.
Yes.
PDR Red Solo Cup 32.
Yeah, for you new guys in here, man, new to Get Right Fantasy, hit that subscribe button for us. We were at 499 subs when we first started this stream. So whoever was that 500th, let me know. And, let's help push us, farther past that 500, because when you do, and when we hit 600, we're giving away a signed Gabe Davis jersey. That's right. Autographed jersey. It is verified by Gabe Davis. Here's the actual picture of the thing. It looks great there. So definitely tell people about us, man. Share it on your social medias. Hit that subscribe button and let them know they can have a chance to enter this contest to win this awesome jersey, man. So we're giving that away to you for helping us get to 600 subscribers. So hit that 600 or hit that subscriber button so we can get to 600.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button so we can see it. And
All
the
right,
like.
so where we at? Yeah,
too.
so back to that. Get Brian
Drop
Robinson,
Rashad
man.
White for Brian Robinson.
I would.
Anthony's getting Brian Robinson right away. He's holding on to him.
Yeah, I would try to trade Rashad White to the Leonard Fournette owner first, if you can. Like put it as a little throw-in piece. Yeah, try to pull off a 2-for-1 type trade so you can open up that roster spot, and then pick a guy like that up off the waiver. And especially if you can pick him right off the waiver and put him in an IR, check your settings and see if you have an IR spot. Because if you do, put him in there. He's on the non-football
drop him, pick him up,
IR
drop the other
list,
guy up, then you don't have to do
and
nothing.
then get him back, and you're good. You still got your whole team, and you got him waiting in the burrows. That's actually my last little note here, little teaser to get to. So anyway, so moving on. You got anybody else there, or should we move on to some of these?
I was reading out some
stuff?
of these things. Here's Yakub Mohammed. What's up, man?
How's
Please
it going?
like and subscribe here. You got a 12-man team PPR: Tua, Miles Sanders, Jeff Wilson, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, Debo, Logan Thomas. On the bench, he got DK, Rashad Penny, Travis Etienne,
Damn.
and MT.
I like this. This is
Michael
like
Thomas.
a little zero RB little build he has going on here. I would have liked in this build just for future Yaqub. I hope I'm saying that right. We run
Yakub.
Yaqub. Okay, we run
Yakub.
Mr. Muhammad. I'll call him. We run mock drafts all off season, man, starting basically like in April, running all the way up through the start of August, and then we do a mock draft tournament throughout the whole month of August where we're running mock drafts every day. So come in there, man, and we'd love to see how you draft on this because this is like a great team. The only thing is when you're doing this type of zero RB build, you want to grab those elite onesie positions, at least one of them, if not both. Get that, quarterback and get a top 5 quarterback. Try to snag one of those top 2 tight ends if you can. But again, if you want to wait and just kind of go wide receiver heavy, just make sure you snag that, top 5 QB. Let 1 or 2 go off the board first. And just get like that 3rd or 4th guy. To me, this year, Hurts was that guy that I was keen in on in the 6th round. And to me, that would just make this, lineup, deadly. If you can maybe trade, maybe put like, Penny and, like a Logan Thomas together and try to just trade up to a tight end. Maybe the person who drafted Kelsey or Andrews didn't know what they were doing. Throwing a Mike Thomas and a Travis Etienne there and Logan Thomas and see if you can get yourself Kelsey or something like that. So that's the only advice I have, man.
My friend Yakub Mohammed Hashimi. What if he's
a Hashimi another guy like that? Interesting.
I know a guy like that. Yes, of course.
There it is. Oh, look at that. No, hold on. Let me get this one. Red Solo Cup said I just subbed and he thinks he was 500. So
nice.
Let's go, baby. Appreciate it, man. All you get right degenerates out there, man. Welcome. The new ones, and again, thank you to the OGs like them boys, NYG guy, Mr. Evan Ramos. We have Nick Nee, as we all know him. Our first 3 subscribers now all the way to 500. Man, it's been a fun ride. We can't thank you guys enough. So that's what's up. There it is. See, we got everyone showing the love. And make sure you get into that description of our video, man. At the very top, you'll see where it says join the sleeper community. Our Get Right Sleeper community. It's just basically kind of like a Discord or a Patreon, but it's free. It's through Sleeper. And you can go in there, ask us your questions. You have basically direct contact to all of us, as well as everyone in the Get Right kind of nation, I guess, if you will. We'll all be there to answer your questions and, just talk fantasy football with you, man. So get in that description, check it out. And, we'll see you in there. If we happen to miss your question on the show or you don't get us live, you can always get us on there. So Vols the Goat said he's sub 2. Can you answer my question on who to add? So Frank, why don't you go
we'll get into that.
Go find his question. Go find
I got this guy right here. So I'll find it right now after this question.
Yeah.
Should I trade my team, trade Terry McLaurin and Devin Singletary for Javonte Williams or Keenan? Or who really is I'm shopping for a trade package so I could just or should I just hold? So
I love what you're thinking here. Oh, you go ahead?
No, go ahead. I'll look for Vols right now.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Perfect. See, we got it going down, man. We're gonna get into this groove. Solo Cup. I'm saying here, I like what you're thinking, man. You're taking Terry McLaurin, who still has value, but I wasn't real big on him, heading into the year. But he's played well, actually. So I think he still definitely has some value. Singletary has played well. He had that one, bad game, but 2 good games so far in PPR. I love what you're thinking of, going after Javonte Williams, who's kind of like a buy low candidate, who I have, on my list here. And as well as Keenan Allen, who's the wide receiver 96 right now. I'd like to see if maybe you can add one more piece to that and maybe get both if Williams and Keenan Allen are on the same team. If you have, I don't know what other kind of piece, you could add on there as far as like a running back or another wide receiver to maybe stack both of these guys and just kind of see. And then, you settle on the one. And again, just depending on your team build would be, what you need more, the running back or wide receiver. So you'd have to tell me that. But yeah, what do you think, Frank?
Let me get back to it because I was trying to find Vols, but the only one that I found for him was the one that we already talked about earlier about the trade of Marquise Brown and Zeke for Waddle, which we were like against. But should I trade McLaurin and Devin Singletary for Javonte Williams? He's an RB2 because he's still got, guy over there, Swift, right? So I don't know. That makes it a little rough because he's not the number one. But Javonte Williams is going to have a very big piece here coming up, especially now that Swift is out for a little while.
No, Javonte on the Broncos.
Oh, the Broncos. Oh, okay.
Other Williams. Yeah, other Jay Williams.
They confuse me, man.
Javonte, not Jamal. I know we got all the names going on right now. Yeah,
I swear to God, they're all swimming in my head.
But does that change your answer? Yes. I was going to say, I mean, that's a much higher, trade target. So that's why I like
that was an easy yes at that point. I would smash that button. I think it's a pretty even trade because the guy's bouncing out with the wide receiver and Scary Terry, who hasn't had the best season yet so far. Maybe he gets better, which is what you're selling on that. And Devin Singletary is, how should I put it? Sporadic, right? He's like here, there. You'll have a good game.
You never know really when to start him. He's like a better
you're never feel comfortable starting him anyways.
Right.
I've had him before. Or Keenan. Keenan would be good. He's coming back, but let's see how he performs. I think Javonte Williams would be solid if you could get that going. Should you package this? Why not? Things like I think you got pieces to move that you could better your team with. I don't know the rest of your team, but it sounds like you got a good opportunity to move up basically, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to just trade up and improve your team, get some of the guys that you're not really starting anyways. But yeah, Vols, if you had an actual other question.
He has it. It's there. I'm going to take control just for a second, Frank. While you were talking, I was kind of going through some stuff.
Okay.
We'll get our volley back and forth right now. You can look for the next one to go to while I'm doing this. So Red Solo Cup says, let's go. Glad to support. Sorry I'm late. Not the last one late to the party, though. So, yeah, you're just getting started, man.
Yeah,
we're just on our way up. So it's going to be awesome to know that you were number 500. Hopefully when we're at like 10,000 subscribers or something crazy, you'll know you were on the ground floor.
Trust me, we got plenty of guys that were here on the ground floor that we will never forget.
Yeah, man. We know. So we appreciate it, man.
We talked about it. You're in our listener leagues. You're involved with us. So that's what's up.
For sure. And yeah, man, we do have listener leagues going on, man. We have best ball tournament, like I mentioned. We're doing drafts all off season. So definitely go check our channel out. Look at our playlist or other videos that we have. Don't go too far back. We were very raw, last year, but those were a lot of fun. But yeah, we're here. So just like Vol says, man, he said, y'all seem like very professional as analysts, man. That's probably one of the better comments we've ever had.
Yeah.
So I like that, man. But yeah, man, we're more, a show for the people, by the people kind of a thing. Just for the new ones out there.
Join the
but don't get me wrong, man. We put a lot of work into this. We put a lot of time into research, putting all this stuff together to be here for you guys. It's a lot of dedication we put into it. And we definitely want to, keep this thing growing. So yeah, please tell people about us. And he says, you look like Jimmy G. Maybe he's referring to me, maybe because I have the hat on.
Because you got the hat on for sure.
Yeah, there it is. So yeah, I'm a
Cowboys
big Niners
fan. Don't insult me like that.
Oh, he's a Cowboys fan. I was gonna say, but yeah, hey, I'll take it, man. He pulled one of those stars. So
yeah, there you go.
I'll take it, man. I appreciate that, GOAT. All right, man. So that's all I wanted to get to, of course, because
let's go to this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone sent me a trade proposal, 10-team full PPR. They offered Olave and Kurt for Jefferson. I said no. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So Justin Jefferson, here's another part of the trade theory that we didn't really get into. There are untradeable guys. There are guys that like literally you would have to send me your entire roster. And even then I'm like, I'm good. And Justin Jefferson is one of those guys. I don't care if he puts up like 4 zeros in a row.
Get that one good game.
Like we've seen, he can go off for like 150 and 2 touchdowns in like a quarter and a half. So like that's still there. Not everyone can do that. And that put the league on notice immediately. And you bet your bottom dollar the defenses were like, we're not letting him embarrass us like that. And so they shut things down. Cousins has to adjust. That's why you see KJ Osborne stepping up. That's why you see Adam Thielen finally getting some targets now. And you have to spread the ball around to open Jefferson back up because they're just going to take him away until you start beating him with those other pieces. But he's just that dude. So
with that
I agree
said,
with
this
you,
is
man.
a solid offer, though.
It is close,
like
man. But I mean, it was a valiant offer. I give it to the guy, but especially in 10-team, man, you got to keep those stars, man. It's all about star power in a 10-team league.
You
it's
want
not
to have
about
the best
depth.
of the best.
You're either first or
Yeah.
last. Like,
Yeah,
don't
exactly. Don't worry about
don't
that. There's
trade
plenty of
Jefferson.
depth on the bench. You could pick up a guy off the waiver wire that has way more value. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you combine him with Jefferson, and that's going to outscore Olave and Kirk most weeks. So,
exactly.
well done. And Ron, he's just saying, "Oh no, I would have taken JJ." No, he has JJ. I think the guy's trying to get JJ from him, unless I totally read that now. So, he said it's below the comment you guys are answering now, but I think he put it in here. So let's finally get to Volz's or Val's. It looks like an A now. It looked like an O earlier, but Val's the goat. He said it's
with the
as
goat,
in,
like
and
you
then
were
he
saying
copied and pasted it. Yeah, I'm just gonna call him the goat. We already have Cody the Mugoats, so this will
my
be
goat.
the
So
goat.
yeah, so you'll be all right.
Exactly. All right. So we got the goat saying my roster is Russ, Najee, Saquon, Sutton, Hollywood, Tyler Conklin. He has Knox, and at flex he has Gabe Davis, Zeke, Bateman, Khalil Herbert. I assume J.D. McKissick. Who should I trade for Waddle? He wants Marquise. Who else should I add? So it is still part of that original trade
So
we
he
were
wants
talking
Waddle.
about before. So remember we were asking him, hey, who's the rest of your roster? Like what can you do?
So this is it.
So the main piece this guy wants is Marquise. He's willing to go with Waddle. So what do we add on here to get to Waddle? So I mean,
Bateman.
nah. I mean, if you
Too
can
much?
pull it off for
Too
Hollywood and
much?
Herbert, I'd have to. What was that original question? We're gonna have to go back to that again.
I would not be trading off Khalil Herbert.
Oh, I would. I absolutely would.
Says Saquon, Herbert.
Sorry, man. We're
Davis.
putting
No,
this
I'm not sure if I
Goat-
would do that, dude.
because of the subscription. We're putting
I'm
our
opposite.
entire show on hold for just you right
Just
now.
one guy.
This is what we do here at Get Right. Every time we'll have one person, for where we do this. So I finally found the original comment. Hey, we love the comments, man. We remember when we were first starting, had nobody in here. So this is awesome. Should I trade Marquise Brown and Zeke for Waddle? So that was the original trade. So besides Zeke, who would you maybe go with Brown to get Waddle?
That's what I said. Bateman.
I think that's a little too much.
Too much?
Yeah, I would try Herbert
Tyler
first if you
Conklin?
can. If he's not biting on that, you probably have to go with a more long-term.
Why are you
piece.
saying Herbert? Because he's a waiver wire pickup recently, or maybe this guy
Exactly.
had him on his team?
You want to trade him off. You want to trade that piece off. So, but I
You
think
don't
it's
think
definitely
the guy would
between.
go for J.D. McKissick?
I mean, realistically, it's going to be probably Zeke that gets this done. I mean, and you don't want to. You're not trading Najee or Saquon.
How about Gabe
and
Davis?
I'm keeping him too, especially in a PPR. I mean, he's attached to the best quarterback in the league right now, so I'll take a piece of that. We've seen him just go nuclear for 3 touchdowns in one game. I mean, it's possible.
There you go.
So you want that kind of boom in your lineup. So
it's either Herbert or
going
Zeke.
back to it, I really don't mind. Yeah, because it's only 2 wide receiver league, so I definitely like that upgrade. I wouldn't mind doing that. Just do it. I'd go with it. I mean, you're losing a little bit of a piece there with Zeke. Again, I would try to get anything back with Waddle. Like if he has like a Brian Robinson or something there, like just get something with Waddle. Don't just do the 2 for 1. Try to get something. But I'm not opposed to that based on that lineup because I do think Waddle's an upgrade.
That's
over
where
Brown.
the injured player falls in.
Yeah,
or
get
whatever.
something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, something. Someone.
But he doesn't necessarily have to be on IR, but just injured
for sure.
On that report or whatever.
Absolutely. I think I see another new guy in here, Logan Flemons. Do you think I could trade Damien for Ramondre? I would try because I think Ramondre is the better PPR option, and we see there could be a little. And I got this from another show, changing of the guard going on in New England, but for the most part, especially with Hoyer coming in now.
These guys are like 50-50, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd say I'd rather have Ramondre because he's kind of the new thing coming in. Like we know what we're getting out of Harris. It's a nice floor. Just Ramondre has that pop. Like he could just kind of go off.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the guy that has Damien, I don't think is going to go for Ramondre.
No, he's trying to trade Damien for Ramondre. So he has Damien. He's trying to get Ramondre.
Well, he's trying to get Ramondre. That's what I'm saying. So
I would just send it, see what the guy thinks.
Still, it's the same guy on the same team to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would try to trade, outside that team. That you have a good point. I would trade outside that thing more than anything. And he's saying, because he has Harris. So
yes, yeah. I would go to somebody else.
Right. And like Drunk Squidward's here saying, and kind of like we're saying, he may not do it straight up because he probably had his choice to take Ramondre or Harris, and I'm pretty sure Ramondre was drafted before Harris,
Yeah,
at least
he
in most of the
chose that
drafts that
guy.
I did. So you kind of have to think about that. And again, the fact that both of you are willing to go after a New England running back is a little tough anyway. So I would try to actually trade out of that backfield again. Go get like a Brian Robinson for Damien Harris and just ride with the result there and see what happens. Doesn't mean it's going to be better, but it's exciting that other way. So anyway,
Oh, look, we're back to this.
he has Ron and Kareem Hunt on the bench. Hey, try to get
Shoot for
Kareem
Kareem
Hunt.
Hunt. Yeah, go for Hunt, dude.
I like that for sure. Zeke, I like that. So Hollywood Brown and Zeke for Kareem Hunt and Waddle. Great trade.
That'd be perfect.
Get it done.
That'd be perfect. Get her
Take
done.
Waddle
Yeah.
and Hunt all day.
Yeah. See,
Great.
He was,
See,
he was
this
like,
is
yes,
why we do
that.
this. Yeah,
Let's
see,
do that. Shit. See?
we're on it. Yeah, see,
Instantly.
we
people
got
are
there.
Like, yeah, do that part of it.
See, we got there. We got there.
So Roland
right.
says Hopkins is going to pull off the top quarterbacks of Hollywood. AJ is too old. Moore is not a factor, and Dortch is the odd man out. 3 receiver set guy. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, and he was in responding to that other the other trade. He was saying his roster with the guy that had Elijah Moore and all that. So, good. All right, man. So just keep the questions coming, man. We'll get to them here. We'll try to peek through them here. We're almost like done with the show, and we haven't even got to our buy sell trade target. So
let's start doing some of that real quick.
We're definitely
let's the
on
comment
pace
build
for
up. Drunk Squidward threw up his whole team real quick just to kind of get a ranking on it. I have a deck.
Squidward, you know to throw it in the sleeper channel, bro.
Yeah,
You've been here long
exactly.
enough.
Like he should have been
Come
doing
on,
it
man.
over there.
You can like
But
just call me
just
up
throw it up
like
real quick.
regular, man. Yeah, but we got you. You here to support us all the time, man. So I got Dak, a little self flex, I'm sure too here. He has Dak, Zach Wilson, Gino, Jimmy G. That's a lot of QBs. I hope it's super flex league.
Yeah.
St. Brown, Drake London, Juju, Ayuk, Burks. Running backs are Swift, Cam, Robinson, Jeff Wilson, Carter, and then he has Schultz and Njoku, and he has Jamison Williams on the IR. It's kind of like my team. I have both those guys on our 2 main home leagues, and I'm holding on to them. You have to pry them out of my fingers.
I'm just waiting for him to drop somebody that I'm going to pick
they ain't
up.
Going to be dropped. Yeah, they ain't going to be dropped. That is the problem, though. Is like, yeah, my bench is way better than the waiver wire a lot of the times. I have the guys everybody wants, and they know I'll trade him 2 for 1. So we'll get there. There will be a time.
Oh, we got to wait it out. Wait them out.
So, I mean, I like that team. I mean, there's a lot of QBs. I hope it's not a super flex or else you're kind of in bad shape. But you know, obviously with Dak being down, Wilson being down, which is I'm sure why he has Gino and Jimmy G, just kind of holding it down until they get back. You know, St. Brown's been good for you. London's been good. Juju's been decent. Ayuk, and we'll see what happens. Burks is getting ready to, pop off soon. Yeah. Swift is fine, except for obviously with the shoulder.
Like with the whole thing, but that's probably
Akers is coming back. You have Jeff Wilson, to hold you over until hopefully Robinson gets back. You definitely need an RB2. I would try to see if you can maybe churn Burks into like Jamal Williams, at least for right now, because that would be, I think, good for this team. And some like maybe a Chase Edmonds might work on this team if you can somehow, pull that off. Once you can kind of get rid of these quarterbacks, once your quarterbacks come back. So anyway, I like it, man. Keep it rolling, Drunk Squidward. Yeah, he was just saying thoughts. So go ahead. Where are we at next?
Trying to turn it off.
No, you're good.
All right, cool. No, there's just we could go back into this stuff.
Solo Red Cup saying, "Can you review my team? Throw it up here again, man. I don't know where it was, so we don't have to scroll again. Just throw it up there again. We don't mind.
There's a lot of scrolling happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just throw it back in the front. Don't like spam us, like if we don't get to it, but like if we say go ahead and throw it up again, go ahead and throw it up if you can. We'll try to find it, but either way. All right, so let's get into some of this stuff, man. Let's get into our trade targets here for the week. Again, we'll just kind of like talk to you about some of these guys, at least, when I'm thinking. We'll get Frank's thoughts on them here. And then, of course, Frank, you can add, anybody here, that you'd like. So we'll just go kind of position by position. So let's start off with quarterbacks. We'll start with, you want to start with buys, sells, or buys or sells? We're not going to start with holds. Go buys?
So let's go buys. You already got it. I mean, let's just go in order because it'll throw us all off if we do.
No, man, I'm trying to get some spontaneous. I don't want to just be like, oh, we're reading off a paper.
No, I get you, but that's not the point. The point being is like we may miss like last time. Remember,
it's all good. That's the best part about it. All right, so we got the QB buys. So for here, I only really got 2 guys that I'm looking at quarterback that I'm kind of looking to buy right now. I mean, obviously anybody's a buy candidate. We're gonna get out of that whole thing. Obviously, every player is available for the right price, except for a handful of tradable guys, and even some people will say those guys have their price. But for me, guys, I'm kind of looking at, when you're looking to buy, you're trying to get some value, right? You're trying to buy low. So someone you might be able to buy low on right now. Again, we talked about someone who's a little nicked up, injuries. For me personally, I like to, take a stab at some guys that I can get for a drop in value, that don't have like serious injuries we have to worry about. One of those guys being the current QB7, who was drafted as basically the QB2 overall, Justin Herbert, man. So he's here at QB7 dealing with that rib cartilage fracture, pain tolerance issue. Didn't play great, last week. So there's a chance you might be able to buy low, or buy low on this guy right now. And the other one is the current QB 27, Tom Brady. So obviously he's down right now, not having any of his weapons, but you got Mike Evans coming back. You have Chris Godwin, who got in some limited work today, which is nice to see. They'll try to ramp him up a little bit, see where he's at. I don't think he's starting this week, and I don't want him to as a Godwin owner. But I think, help and reinforcements are on the way. And you never know if a Gronk sighting might happen here or there. So if you can get Brady cheap, if you're dealing with a Dak injury or something like that. Yeah, there might be a Gronk sighting there. There might be a, everyone, the little thing is, he might just kind of come back the second half of the season.
Help him out again.
So there's always that there. So just again, just 2 guys that I'm looking to possibly buy right now. So what are your thoughts on that, Frank?
Man, I sure hope so, because I got Brady and I'm 0-3 with him. So he needs to turn this ship around. But like you're saying, he has a lot of the wide receivers out. So, he's working with what he's got. It's not pretty. He's getting the wins. That's all that matters to the team. So, it'll turn around once more of these guys come back around. Herbert, yeah, you mentioned that cartilage injury and the ribs and situation, but they did mention that he didn't re-aggravate or make anything worse after the last game. So he should be good to go going forward. I think it was just a freak scare that people had in that. Should we add?
Add anyone you want. Those were just my 2. Who you got? Who you thinking?
No, I was just thinking. As I'm not sure if it's as a buy. I guess more of a waiver wire pickup, really, because I still kept mentioning Trevor Lawrence.
I actually have him on my hold list. He's a guy I kind of want to hold and see what's going on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's right in there, QB 10, and I think he could be kind of like a top 15 type guy, maybe even sneak into that top 12. The way he's playing, the way that team looks, it could happen. So that's why I have him as a hold. You don't have to agree with me. It's just, that's where I have him.
Yeah. I'm at a buy situation. I don't just just basically like you're saying is holding. Really, I'm just saying if you don't have him, go get him. I actually looked for him in our league. Somebody snatched him up, and I'm like, really?
Nice.
Because it happens every year. If something happens with somebody's quarterback, next everybody goes around and picks up all kinds of backup quarterbacks or whatever.
Nice.
That's it is what it is.
I'm gonna cut you off there. Ron came up clutch right here for Red Solo Cup. He went and found his comment and posted it here for us. He said, "There you go." So here it is. So big shout out. And Solo Cup said, "Low key took me a minute to type that out. So yo, I appreciate you for real, for real." This is what we do here, Solo Cup, man. Welcome to Get Right. We got each other's backs here, dog. Like This is how we do it. So welcome. So we're gonna get to it right here. My team, 12 team, 3 wide receivers, PPR. He has Lamar, Mixon, Kamara, AJ Dillon, Singletary, Madison, Rashad White, but it's about to be Brian Robinson, which I do like. His wide receivers are Kupp, Mike Evans, Waddle, McLaurin, D-Hop, Lazard. What does he do? I think you hold tight, my guy. I mean, the only thing I can think of that I would do is maybe trade off a little bit of your running back depth to try to improve at tight end. I don't know who your tight end is here, but I assume it's not Andrews or Kelsey. So if there's a chance you can get one of those 2, that would be kind of the only improvement. I'm definitely holding Mixon and Kamara. Lamar's balling out. AJ Dillon and Singletary are just nice kind of, throw in, flex type pieces, bye-week filler, guys that you're comfortable with just kind of throwing in there any given week when you don't have to rely on them. And you have, obviously, Kupp, the number 1 wide receiver. You have Evans coming back off suspension now. We've seen what Waddle's
Which is
capable
great because
of.
he wasn't like injured or anything. He just
Right.
missed the game.
And then off the bench, you have McLaurin, who's like at least a wide receiver 2-3. At worst, that can go off as for wide receiver 1 numbers any week, especially when bye weeks come. So for a 12 team, man, this is a really nice team. So
Yeah, D-Hop coming back late.
yeah,
Another thing I would do
yeah.
is maybe switch out Lazard for Dubes, or what do you think, Dubes or Lazard?
I kind of like Lazard. I mean, he does get those touchdowns, and touchdowns
Like
are
Dubes.
points. But I mean, yeah, Dobbs made a nice little showing last week, so we'll see if he
Dubes,
can.
man, there's a U in there.
Tomato. All right, so there it is. Yeah,
Nice.
Red Solo
Very
Cup
nice
said
team,
you're clutch for that. So yeah, that's how we do out here, man. So it looks like we got a new one here. Monir in. Maybe he sounds familiar. I don't know. But if you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button for us, man. We're trying to get all the way to 600 subscribers, and because when you do, or when we do, we're going to give away this Gabe Davis signed jersey. All you need to do is be a subscriber. We're going to drop a video. You'll leave a little hashtag comment. We'll do a little drawing based on a comment picker and send you out this nice Gabe Davis jersey absolutely free, just for hanging out with us a couple times a week and hitting that subscribe button. All right. So he says Juju, Thielen, Claypool, Edmonds, Eli Moore, or Hunt. Half PPR, pick one for his flex.
Juju, Thielen, Claypool, Edmonds, Moore. Juju, I like.
I think I'm going Juju there. Either Juju or Hunt. I mean, it's half PPR, so maybe I lean Hunt a little bit. He is coming off kind of a down game per se for him.
It's not been great.
Week 1 was nice when he scored the 2 touchdowns, kind of, mellowed out a little bit here. I think he has a decent kind of floor. Edmonds obviously looked good this week, but was kind of bad last week. So between Edmonds and Hunt, it's tough to know which one of those 2 guys to start. Not really sold on Claypool unless you really need to start him. So to me, it just comes down to a toss up between Thielen and Juju, and give me the guy attached to Mahomes that's getting most of the targets.
That's what I was looking at. Literally.
There we go.
You get more shot over there. But
that's our thought process, my guy. So hopefully it works out for you, man. Hit that subscribe button for us. We'd appreciate it. And we'll go from there, man. So you got any more questions, drop them and we'll go. So we got Jake here asking a trade question. Thoughts on a trade? Jalen Waddle and I receive Jamar Chase. I already have Jefferson, but only Juju for wide receiver 3. So trade Jalen Waddle and he gets Jamar Chase. Is there anything else involved in this trade? Because to me, that's a no-brainer. You definitely take Chase. I mean, I don't know if we missed another piece here or if this is supposed to be Jalen Warren and Waddle for Jamar Chase. Like, even if it is, you take it. So, especially if you have Jefferson. They both haven't been the top 3 producers, but we've seen what both of them are capable of doing, winning a week on their own. So, you compare
if you have Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson,
get it done.
Like
and
literally with the 1 and 2.
If you lose with the wide receiver 2 and 3 overall that were drafted this year, two first round picks, then it just wasn't your year, bro.
Yeah.
But go get them.
Yeah.
Don't overthink stuff. Just go get them.
Because it was Cup, them 2.
Yeah. Okay. So Solo Cup's with me. He's like, yeah, just do that and run for the hills, bro. Yeah. Like for real.
Smash that accept.
Yeah, and he's saying definitely pick up. So yeah, it's a rare opportunity. Yeah, and that's what we were kind of talking about in the trade, theory is when these untouchable guys have a window that they're even available for sale, even if you need to pay a little more for it, like screw trying to get an even trade. If they're even just willing to trade them and it's not like a no-brainer automatic decline like we were talking about earlier, you get these guys. Your Jamar
you might
Chases,
be the
your
trade that looks
Jeffersons,
ugly
your
right
Devontae
now,
Adams.
but later on it looks genius.
Just get it, man. So get those done. All right, man. So he's saying cheers. There it is. John Squidward saying bye low on Kamara. Sure, he's injured, but his snap count is still pretty high. Don't get ahead of me here, Squidward. We'll eventually get to the running backs, my guy. And do you think I should try to trade for a backup QB? I'm just going to kind of run through these real quick, Frank. If you feel like you need to interject, let me know. He said I'm kind of worried with Lamar. No, you just ride Lamar out, man. And if he gets hurt, just go get Huntley off the wire, and you'll be fine because he did okay in that offense. After that, he's basically like, he literally looks like Lamar light on the field. Like,
but I definitely wouldn't trade for a backup QB. Like,
no, yeah, no.
Who do you got off on the waiver wire? Like,
unless it's super flex, but yeah, if it's one QB, just roll with like a Trevor Lawrence. There's going to be a a Wentz or a Goff or, even a Daniel
Mariota,
Jones out there every
somebody.
once in a while that you could throw in. Exactly. We got Jacob in here again saying, should I trade Murray, Swift for Herbert, Allaire, and AJ Dillon? Man, that's tough. But if it's 6 point for passing touchdowns, I probably would.
Right.
Just because
Murray
you
and
are
Swift
getting a
for
little bit of
Herbert.
that running back
There.
depth, but you're definitely taking a hit on the running backs. I mean, Swift is hurt right now. So, I mean,
He's
if
a
you
better
kind of
back.
consider those two, but yeah, overall in the long run, again, to me, it's one of those trades we're talking about. You're trading, away a hurt guy, or, this person's trying to buy a hurt guy from you. So as long as you feel like you're getting, again, an extra piece in this case, that's still going to be a valuable bench piece, better than who you're going to drop in this case. Then I don't see why I would hesitate making that trade. I mean, I think the gap between Swift and both of these running backs is bigger than the gap between Murray and Herbert, but I just think over the course of time, that QB position, without the ups and downs that Murray kind of gives you, and we don't kind of know what he's going to do, it's tough, man. Watching his games have been tough this year. He was like Matt Ryan a couple years ago, where he'd have like literally 6 points going into the third quarter,
Fourth
and
quarter,
then he
fourth or
finishes the
third.
game with like 21 or 22,
Yeah.
like in save your bacon. But you're just like, oh my God, like if you don't like doing that, or like if you just don't really watch all the games all day and you just kind of
You're
check your
stress-averse.
scores at the end of the day, then Murray's okay for you. But if you're watching
Yeah.
the game, man, it's hard to have Murray on your team. It's no bueno. But I don't hate it. I'd probably keep Swift and Murray. Actually, now that I'm kind of thinking about it more, but I don't hate it. Like if you did it, I'd be like, you got
It's not a
good
terrible
value.
trade, is what we're
Yeah,
saying. It's
like no
pretty,
one's getting
pretty even.
fleeced. It
Yeah, it's
works.
pretty even
Yeah.
trade, but
It's just your
it's all
personal
about
preference.
like what you feel more comfortable with. Because later on, Swift will be coming back. He's not going to stay hurt, and he was a beast. He was playing very well at the end of last year, and you know what you're getting with CEH as up games and down games right now. I think he's going down, and so is AJ Dillon a little bit because all the touches going to Aaron Jones. So you're kind of playing Russian roulette a little bit as to who's going to be the guy. If we all knew the future, we'd be able to tell you exactly where to go with. But I mean, like it's a toss up right there,
Right.
which makes it a good trade, which makes it pretty even because of that.
Yeah.
Right?
When you can't really figure out who got the better end, to me,
Yeah.
that's a good trade.
You're-
Are you happy? No. Are you happy? No. Deal.
It's probably right. It's probably all right then. Yeah.
Deal. Yeah. All right. So big shout out to Ron here saying it's not Dubes, it is Dobbs. Rasta is right. So we're just gonna keep that up. I'm gonna put that comment up whenever I need to. We need someone to just drop this comment every show
Dobbs.
stream so I can just kind of use it throughout the show as I
You know
need
what
it.
we need to find is that video where the guys say their names. You know what I'm talking about? Then we'll know how it really
Oh
is.
yeah. No, I was happy because Alberto said his name on the little, where they read off their names in the beginning. I'm like, ooh, I need to go back and watch that. So make sure I can pronounce that Okuwenu bomb or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't bad. I
You got to
worked
go
it
with
out
whatever
there.
they're rolling with, right? So,
Roll
anyways,
with
go
it,
back
yeah.
to answer his
No,
question.
no.
Would you
Whose
trade for
question?
Leonard Fournette? You'd like
Would I?
just
No.
like skipped over it.
Well, I was gonna say, Squidward, get out of my show notes, man. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We'll get there. He's in my show notes already. Or what was it here? So Jake was saying, thank you, just new to the sport. Haha. That's what we love, man. We're so happy that that you came here and you found us, man. Again, hit that subscribe button for us, man. We'll help you keep your lineups right, throughout the year. And then again, next off season, we're going to be doing mock drafts. We're going to, show you how to just improve your draft strategy, show you the different types of strategy that fit your style of play, and what you feel works for your leagues. So definitely join us. Make sure you get in that description and join our Get Right Fantasy Network sleeper community. Just hit that description. It's right at the top. I made it easy now. Get in there, join it. It's free.
Yeah, don't hide it deep in there.
Yeah, no, I know. Before I had it like in the bottom, people were like, I'm not scrolling through all that nonsense. So it's right there, man. So yeah, Waddle for Chase, that's crazy. Just get it done.
Yeah.
No one. Hey, this comment question
it.
comes from no one.
Welcome aboard.
We need someone that's an everyone. We need your brother in here. Everyone. Because everyone is asking this question. There it is. Maybe he'll change the name from no one to everyone. All right, so here we go. Should I trade James Robinson for Austin Eckler? Awesome trade, man. I mean, I have James Robinson as a hold. I have Eckler as a buy. So to me, it fits right in there for what you're trying to do. They're definitely pieces that are movable right now. In this game that we play. And to me, these are the type of trades I love to do, man. You're trading someone you got in the 7th, 8th, 9th round, potentially, for someone who was drafted most likely in the top 6 picks. Has had only, one down game, really. And even in his down games where he only got 4 carries, still had like 12 targets, 10 catches, and still scored you a decent PPR day on a complete dud. Like, if you don't, like, that's floor if I've ever seen it. And we still don't know what is going to happen to Robinson. He was balling out like this last year and then just tore his Achilles right when you needed him most. I'm not saying that you base all your, decisions off of something like that, but to me, if I can get Eckler, I'm kind of buying Eckler right now. I have already.
I would agree with Eckler.
You know,
I agree with Anthony. What the first part he said was about where you drafted Eckler and where people drafted James Robinson. I took James Robinson around the 7th or 8th round, and when I could move up and get a guy that's being drafted in the first 2 rounds, that's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there's a reason why those guys were being drafted up that high. And on top of that, I mean, James Robinson is sharing carries with Etienne, but I do like James Robinson, man. I'm buying James Robinson right now, anyways. I'd like to trade for him. I already have him, but I'll take him in other teams. I'm trying to get him right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it goes either way. I mean, he's definitely a buy piece. If you have him, you kind of want to hold him or shop him, see what you can get. And again, if you can get Eckler for him, that's the kind of trade I'm trying to make right there.
Yeah,
absolutely. And again, Ron, I'm sure you guys saw the comments come up, but for those who are listening and not watching, Ron here in the chat said he loves Robinson, but he'll take Eckler, and Eckler's going to heat up, so he would definitely take that trade. Solo Cup saying, before I drop Rachaad White, would you trade Terry McLaurin and White for ETN?
Yeah, I would.
Gosh, that's tough. That is really tough. But because I really like having Terry McLaurin as your wide receiver 4. I think that's pretty valuable versus just grabbing ETN because your running backs were already pretty strong and you had decent already guys. I think, I'm pretty sure Solo Cup was the guy who had Singletary and Edmonds, right? With Kamara and Mixon. Yeah. If that was his team, or was that somebody else's team?
He's trying to trade with the Fournette owner, like we told him. Though.
Yeah.
Remember, we mentioned go find the Fournette owner and give him
a
shot.
No, but that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely try to see what you can get, but I would shoot maybe
see if you can get a wide receiver instead of a running back. That's what you're saying.
I would try to upgrade the wide receiver, in that situation, and add Rachaad to him to upgrade the wide receiver. If not, you're taking a running back, you're pairing Rachaad with them, and you're trying to upgrade your running back.
Yeah, which is not what we were trying to do.
Right.
And I always hate trading for that type of, and that's maybe that's just my thing. But I try to go for a running back to a wide receiver, running back, whatever the case is. I don't go running back for a running back. I never understood the point. I would either want the guy or don't want the guy. What's the point of taking your guy over my guy?
It's usually 2 for 1 when you go running backs.
Yeah, exactly. Now you got to involve other players to make it make sense to me. It never makes sense to me to get.
Unless people are just like, I'm not feeling this guy, but I'm feeling this guy, and it's like literally the perfect match.
Or if they're doing that Eckler James Robinson trade over here, then then we're
something like that.
Then it makes sense.
And that works. Yeah,
but it's so off even that I'm like, let me buy that guy right now.
Exactly. So Ron was kind of saying the same thing. He doesn't trust ETN. He'd rather have Terry. So it's interesting when Ron and I actually agree. So that's good or bad. I don't know yet. So we'll see. Shout out to Ron. Ron and I are playing each other in our ambassador league, and we do have ambassadors here for the channel. They help us out running our mocks and things like that. And we do have a league for everyone to get in for that. We give out a $50 prize to the winner of that league, winner take all. So again, if you guys are interested in being ambassadors, helping us run mocks and things like that during the off season, let me know. Hit me up, Rastafarian. It's in the chat or in the description.
At Rastafarian.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button too, guys. Make sure you hit it.
We got a new guy here. I think
Tyler, what's up, man? Appreciate the subscribe. If you subscribe for us, I don't think I've seen this name yet, and if I do, I apologize. But he says, I have Hollywood Brown, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, and Chris Olave. Would you trade Hollywood Brown for Breece Hall and Ayuk? I have 0 RB depth in full PPR. Yes.
Hollywood Brown, Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, and Olave.
Yeah, if you can get a 2 for 1 for Hollywood Brown with D-Hop coming back in a few weeks, and it's Breece Hall, and Ayuk isn't that bad of an option if Jimmy G can get his you-know-what together. Again, it has nothing to do with the logo as far as Ayuk goes. To me, the piece there is Breece Hall. And if you can turn,
I just want to know who he has in RB. He says he has 0 RB depth, but who does he have?
Well, yeah, he's just saying he has nothing. Like it's probably nobody. I trust him. So yeah, if you're saying you have no RB depth, or Brees Hall is a nice RB3 to have. Especially in a PPR. We'll see what happens when Wilson comes back. He does try to throw the ball downfield more than check down Flacco, but he should. I mean, he's just much better when you look at the tape. He's just much better, much more efficient than Carter. And Carter's not bad. He's just. I mean, Brees Hall is just.
He's a
I mean,
potter.
he's good.
He's a
I
trotter.
mean, yeah,
Different
Brees
kind of
Hall is
player.
good, man. He's efficient. So let's see what else we got here. Yeah, check and see if we got anything else in there, or if they're just talking amongst themselves.
Rashad Penny is my third running back drafted.
Oh yeah,
Mitchell.
yeah, I would do it. I would do it. I would do it.
I have D Hop with the fourth wide receiver, Cap Evans, Waddle, Terry McLaurin, and Lazard, and then D Hop.
Yeah, because he wants to get rid of Terry. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I would.
Well, no, he was saying this was the Terry and Rashad for.
Send Lazard then.
For someone else, but I still like Terry in this one.
Who
were your running backs again? Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep going. Fournette owner has Keenan. I'm gonna try to do the Terry and White for Keenan. Yes, now that's better.
There you go.
I like that.
Now we're talking.
That's a come up. There we go. See, we'll get there. We always get there, guys. That's why they call me the dentist, because we will get there eventually. It's just how we get there.
We got a new one for Legacy.
Legacy, what's up, man? Hopefully you hit that subscribe button for us. We'll get to your question here or your comment. Go ahead, Frank. Read it off.
I'm about to do a trade and give Jamar Chase and Austin Eckler for Devontae Adams. And Mixon, how would you guys do?
So you're giving up Chase and Eckler for Adams and Mixon? I don't really like this trade because you're kind of just trading even for even. I mean, unless you're completely down on Jamar Chase and just the Bengals, and if you're down on the Bengals offense, then I don't know why you would want to trade for Mixon, who's kind of not really being used in the passing game as much right now.
No.
He was after the first week, but the last 2 weeks, nothing. And they're just taking so many sacks to, get off the field still, even though we thought that line was going to improve.
Oh, it did not.
So, honestly, I would probably stick with Chase and Eckler and just hold and ride that out. I mean, if you're going to get Adams Mixon in another piece, that should be fine. But honestly, Jamar Chase should be able to get, almost Adams and Mixon. Like, you shouldn't have to give Eckler to get to Adams and Mixon. It should be like Jamar Chase and who's down there, like David Montgomery type person, I don't know who's down there, like a mid RB2.
Yeah, we're just looking at
like CH or something.
Adams had 2 down games himself, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's just kind of a lateral. I mean? Like, yeah, it's a lateral
move. Yeah,
and I think Burrow's better than Carr, so like you're just kind of downgrading overall. And I think Herbert's better than Burrow. So you're literally going worse and worse as far as their respective quarterbacks. Yeah. So stick with your guys. Keep the legacy going, my guy. So Tyler in here was saying Jonathan Taylor, Jamal Williams, and then Penny in a 12-man. So yeah, he has no RB depth there. I'd agree with you. So yeah, I'd go get him. I'd go get Brees. I think it's worth it.
Or somebody. Yeah, get somebody.
Yeah. I mean, if you have some action with someone who has Brees, I'd go get him. Obviously, try to target someone better, but I don't mind Brees.
We got a new one here from Joka.
Go ahead. My bad. I double clicked on that.
Joka.
Hello. Joka, what's up, man? Welcome.
What's up, man?
New guy. What do they call that? First time listener. First time. Or what is it? Long time listener, first time commenter, or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Right. This is first time.
Either one of those cases. Right?
No, it's totally off. Go ahead.
Hello, New. Would you guys trade DJ Moore and Alvin Kamara for Leonard Fournette and DK Metcalf 12-man league PPR?
Who else does he have at wide receiver beside Metcalf? I don't mind the Fournette side of it. I'm a big DJ Moore guy. Like, I think he can still come around some, but again, if you can trade it for Fournette and someone a little more decent, like I don't know if he has Allen, someone like that.
I don't hate this one, honestly.
I mean, Gino and DK haven't been that bad together, but it's not great. And I think the potential, just the pure skill of the other two. Like I'd rather just kind of keep Kamara and Moore there, but I like the idea of getting Fournette, and he's just saying here, or just hold Moore. I don't mind the trade, but I'd like to know what other wide receivers he has besides DK, unless you think that's the only guy. Michael, yeah, I would do it for Michael Thomas for sure. Fournette and Michael Thomas. I don't know about for sure, but if you feel like you're trying, because you're downgrading at
I would.
running back a bit,
I would for sure.
because again, Fournette's not just going to come right out of the gate. I think he's still a week or two away from getting to where we feel he should be once Godwin and everybody kind of get back healthy. Like that's when
Once the
Fournette's going to
steamroll
start
starts
eating
happening
again.
and everybody
Yeah.
starts eating. Yeah.
So for sure.
Tampa
So
Bay is going to right the ship. Don't get it twisted.
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So
But if he
I
has
I
Michael
like that.
Thomas,
I
I'd
like
take
Mike
Michael Thomas,
Thomas.
Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, I
would
like
do it.
Thomas Fournette, better. Obviously, you're getting rid of Kamara, so you're not going to have him on the same team. So it kind of works out there. If you feel like you need to move on DJ Moore, I don't hate that trade. All right. And shout out to Legacy, man. Thank you so much. I'll definitely subscribe. New subscriber, man. Welcome to Get Right Fantasy, man. Welcome to the degenerates. We're here.
Join the cheap sleeper channel.
For sure. Yeah, and get in that description and hit the sleeper channel so you guys can get there. Ron's saying he doesn't trust MT at all, so it's not all love for MT everywhere. So
I think so, but he did say, look, I think that DK and DJ are pretty much similar, and I think Kamara is better than Fournette.
yeah, because he's saying no. He'd rather keep the Kamara and DJ Moore side.
No? I'll take Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
He's doing good. He just had one toe injury or whatever that is that happened. He'll be fine.
And let's see. Ron just doesn't trust Mike Thomas, saying he's injury waiting to happen. Joke is saying he just doesn't trust Baker Mayfield, and he's the wide receiver one killer. So yeah, to me, and what you guys will know here is we're all about like get guys that you want to play with. Like this is still a game. Like you want to go into Sunday like happy, not like damn, I got to see if this guy even performs. Like don't feel like just because you give up maybe a little bit in a trade, like if it's going to make your Sunday more enjoyable. Like you're going to be that happy with your team because at least you tried to do something to fix it, and you're not stuck watching somebody that you know you
take an L if you like the guys that you have.
Right, it makes it a little easier
like,
to swallow
whatever,
the next day.
I mean?
Yeah, like they're going to bounce back.
Yeah,
instead of like, oh damn it, I just got to get rid of DJ
that's
Moore.
Literally what I'm doing right now with my team. I like my guys. I'm sticking to my guys, and I know that the team will work itself out. All that I got to do is wait a little bit, and then we're going to be fine. The ship will right itself.
Exactly.
No panicking here yet.
For sure.
And if I go down with my ship, at least I go down with my guys that I liked anyways, man.
Just
ain't nothing wrong with that.
He says, what's up, guys? Late to the party. Big shout out here to Fantasy Fish. What's up, brother? How's it going?
He's becoming a regular now. That's
absolutely. That's what happens, man. Once you go get right, you don't go back.
We have to come up with one for that.
Something. Right. Yeah, we'll work on it. All right. So I'm trying to give Barkley what would be a fair trade for that. Hit us up in our sleeper channel and post that in their legacy. Let us know it's you. Again, go into that description. Should be at the very top. Join our Get Right Fantasy Network sleeper channel, private channel. And we can answer more of a question like that, man. And we'll get into a back and forth. We'll love to, start talking to you on there. Only because we got to start wrapping up the show. We will be back here again on Friday doing our start sit. Classic Mike and I will be here. Maybe Frank will join us, depending if he's fishing on Saturday or not. But we're going to do our start sit. We go kind of game by game, let you know who we're starting, who we're sitting. And, we'll take your questions and stuff there as well, too. But, for more open kind of discussion like that, we can go one-on-one with you in our sleeper channel.
Because there's a lot more involved than just an open-ended question like that.
And that's
why we say that. There's way more involved. We got a lot more questions to be asked and answered than, the show for everybody here. So just to keep it moving for everybody, what defenses do you like this year? I have the Cowboys drop Broncos defense for them. Stomach is turning. I'd be comfortable. Are you kidding me? They're getting sacks left and right, interceptions. It's not always about
depends on the scoring, but
scoring, But I mean,
Classic Mike's our defensive guy. I don't do defenses or really tight ends really. Like I'm just literally Andrews or Kelsey or bust. Like,
but
just to set it straight. So look up.
Yeah.
That's just.
I'm just saying, feel comfortable because
you're good.
Cowboys have been a waiver wire pickup period. You know what I mean? Like people are going after them. They see what's happening over there. Everybody thought it was just going to be a blow up because Cooper Rush got in there, and now they see that Cooper Rush can win a game and hold fort down. So that's not like just the defense out there all day long getting beat up on. As long as that's not happening, then the Cowboys can, obviously compete with whoever they're playing against and get, like I said, mad. The pass rush is ridiculous over there in Dallas right now, and they're going to get plenty of sacks and get plenty of turnovers, and that's going to make plenty of points for you.
All right. We had a legacy in
Joka
here.
said, "True, I would go with Frank's side. I'll pull the trigger and trade for Michael Thomas." That's what I'm talking about, man.
All right, so look up, our legacy called me out here. He said the podcast channel or the other one. Those are our affiliates, and shout out to the Check Down podcast and WAGMI Fantasy. Those are other shows here on Get Right Fantasy Network. Our affiliate channels there. So make sure you go and subscribe to their channels as well. But right now, I'm gonna post this right here in the chat, and if you refresh your stream. I just now updated it in the description. It's actually the Friday show that I put it at the top, not tonight's show. Got a little behind or ahead of myself there. Got a little too excited, but it's going to be right here in the chat as well. So go check it out. So that's our Get Right Fantasy Sleeper channel. It's in the description now at the top. And so go there. Again, you can post screenshots of your whole team. You can create a thread in there. Not only us here from the show, a bunch of other folks, a lot of guys in there that have their own channels and podcasts as well. So you're going to get some great advice, and it's just an all around cool, inclusive, space to be in without like all those trolls. You don't get any of that in here. It's just good football talk. So we keep it nice in there, and people enjoy it.
Yeah, none of this extra BS.
Exactly. All right, man. So we're definitely past time. So
Schultz.
Yeah, so let's get into some of this, man. So, if we kind of hit on some of these, maybe that'll I don't want to say get rid of their questions. I love engaging you guys.
Answer questions.
Let's just go here for you. So, and then if you guys have questions after the fact, then we'll do a quick session and get you guys out of here. Yeah. Let's see. So we left off we only did one. We did the QB buys. So we're not going to take too long. Guys I have listed here as sells. And again, we've been talking about a lot of these guys here already tonight. QBs that I have that I'm looking to sell right now, if I have them, are Tua, Wentz, Goff, and Mariota. You have Tua right now at QB5. You have Wentz at QB6, Jared Goff at QB9, and Mariota at QB14. These are just guys that I don't think are going to hold their value. If you can get anybody or package these guys, to someone like the Dak owner or someone like that, that needs, some help, maybe, short-term or temporary, or potentially kind of a long-term guy that, again, just not quite a stud. We've obviously seen a lot of, Tua questions here tonight. So he's definitely a piece that's moving, right now, this week.
The guy that picked up Jimmy G and now needs somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah. The Trey Lance owner. So again, and then who knows, who might, knocking on wood, of course, who might go down next week. So again, always look to, trade up when you have these guys that are, clearly outperforming their, draft position, and, you just feel aren't, most likely going to sustain it. A lot of people kind of get caught up in the moment. They just are looking for that next week and they're not thinking long-term. So if you can capitalize on that, or again, you're sitting in a pretty position 3-0, and you can make a move like that to someone who's desperate at 0-3, then make it happen. So
and of these guys, I would say Tua is my next to hold. You know what I mean? Like if of all these guys, Wentz, Goff, and Mariota, if I had to hold somebody or wanted to hold somebody, that'd be the guy, because then maybe you already have a second, that's your second QB, right? And you're okay with holding them, then and not needing to trade them off, then that's who I would hold. But I would agree with Anthony. Wentz, Goff, Mariota, if you could get package or whatever with somebody else, then you're gonna benefit from their high right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Some of the names you didn't hear in the buy or sell are guys that I'm kind of looking to hold, because I don't think the value's quite there versus what the potential could be if you were to just keep them and ride it out. Guys I'm thinking about are Trevor Lawrence, who we talked about earlier, currently the QB10. Normally that kind of fits the draft mold, the mold for me as a sell high. But for me, I think he's not really too much out of place. We weren't quite sure really to rank this guy. Like, he has the talent. He's, in a better situation. So I definitely want to see, what happens. I'm not really looking to trade him unless, of course, an offer comes through where you can trade into a top 5 guy and he's a piece. These aren't guys that I'm not trading. It's just, ideally, I'm probably just going to hold unless it's like a no-brainer. Yeah, I need to upgrade at that position. Another one of the guys is QB 22 currently, Matt Stafford. Another one is QB 23 right behind him, Aaron Rodgers. And then the QB 25, probably the biggest question mark right now of what to do with him is Russ Wilson. And so I would just kind of hold these guys and see what you can get because people are only going to try to buy low from you. And I'm not about selling low. I want to sell high, not sell low.
But I would be most worried about Wilson, right?
I mean,
Wilson and
yeah. I
Stafford?
mean, again, that's why I was like,
Wilson, you
they're
were
the ones
expecting
who
a lot more
I'm
from
not
him.
worried about Stafford, but yeah, we were expecting more from Wilson. So, we'll see. I mean, Brady started off slow in Tampa Bay until he kind of got his, feet under him after being somewhere for so long. Sometimes it just takes a little while to adjust. You're in a different division, different coaching, different culture, things like that. So appreciate that legacy. He's in the sleeper channel now. So post up a thread, man. Throw your roster in there like we all do when we first join. Throw the roster in there. Let us know, what you're looking for, or if you're just looking for feedback, trade targets, whatever it is, man. Throw it in there, and the degenerates will come out and start answering for you.
Start
so
helping you out. Yeah,
it'll be fun, man. You'll meet some good people in there. All right, so let's see. So that's it pretty much for quarterback. We'll just kind of try to wrap this up here in the next couple minutes, getting through running backs and some receivers. So running backs, I'm looking to buy right now. And again, we've talked, about a lot of these guys. Running back 10 right now, Jonathan Taylor, obviously drafted as the number one overall pick in most leagues. He's coming in right now at RB10, has some decent games, hasn't really kind of lived up to his, draft capital originally. If you have a JT owner who's panicking, throw it out there. Don't be afraid, to make offers for guys like this because you never know what someone's willing to accept or what they're thinking. If you make a nice offer to them. Next would be
pissed. The girlfriend pissed them off. They're willing to move.
Yeah, you never know, man.
Close out the window. Get that.
Always try. Yeah, always try. RB11, Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's at RB11 only because he hasn't really caught a lot of passes. Did show up on the injury report this week with a thigh issue. So maybe that CMC owner is going to panic now because he has maybe this thigh going on. And the language they're using about it, how it's, different from, some of these other minor knickknacks that he's kind of had. They're just trying to worry you. I don't know what it is. Maybe sometimes these guys writing these articles are just trying to push the value down so they could trade for McCaffrey. I don't know what it is. But either way, I'm still a McCaffrey fan. He has a nice floor, and we know his ceiling is, league winning. So if I can get him on my team for the right price, I wouldn't overpay for him. But if you can get him for the right price, then definitely do it. The next one on the list, the guy we talked about a lot here, is Austin Eckler at RB13 currently. One name we kind of didn't really hear, maybe because he kind of had a get right game. Get it? Get right game. Yeah. Now, when you guys hear that, you're going to always know Derrick Henry, King Henry came back here. He's currently at RB14. We expect him probably to be top 5 in rushing. Hopefully soon. Obviously, their line's backed up. They have their tackles gone for the whole year. So it's going to be tough. But I just think, there's a chance, especially if Burks can, break out and kind of open up the offense a little bit and have somewhat of a receiving threat that, that's all Henry needs to start going buck wild. Not to mention when just as the season goes on, he just starts running and nobody wants to tackle this guy. So, and he's getting his touches. Yeah, he's getting his touches.
Injuries happening. Nobody wants to get injured no more. They're like, I'm going to let just this guy run a little bit.
Yeah, set it and forget it. So another running back I have here is running backs. And I'm sorry, man. I'm just trying to get through these for us.
Yeah. No,
since we're late. Yeah. RB16, Joe Mixon. We talked a lot about him, followed by the RB21, Leonard Fournette. Again, we've talked about him tonight. These are definitely, buying candidates, guys we're looking to get. And, obviously because of Fournette, he's just a low buy right now. We expect that offense to, regress to the mean. We have RB24, Dalvin Cook, man. Obviously dealing with the shoulder injury, like we've talked about. If you can get a guy on discount, he's dealt with this injury. He's come back, put the harness on, and went off. I think for over 100 yards and a touchdown or two in his first game when we all thought he was going to miss 2 or 3 weeks last year. So go get him if you can, especially if you get him with one of those late picks. These are the guys that zero RB and hero RB, builds. Like this is what we live for. To buy low on these type of guys and get that capital that we didn't have to spend in the draft and still have solid pieces everywhere else and just buy your running back. One guy I'm looking to buy right now that's, not so much on the higher end underproducing side. It's actually the other way around. He's starting to make a little noise, a little
He's on the rise.
Damien Pierce, obviously, we had him blow up in preseason. All that noise and chatter was curbed, of course, when Rex Burkhead came out and got like 20 carries, and he only got 4 week 1. He's trending upwards. Just came off a 20 touch. Scored his first touchdown game. I think he was in the 80-yard range, if I remember.
Yeah.
So
it's like 20 touches, 80 yards.
Yeah, not decent YPC, but again, he's a rookie on Houston. What do you truly expect? But it looks like they're starting to give him the keys to that backfield. Burkhead, I think, only had like 4, touches that game total.
Yeah.
So
we like any guy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So go find this guy if you can just kind of be like, you're negotiating someone bigger, and you go, oh yeah, just throw in Pierce. Like he's a no piece. Obviously, whoever probably drafted him knows the hype. But if they're not really feeling him right now, not comfortable throwing him in, maybe that's like a throw-in piece you could potentially get at RB30 right now. And then another piece we've talked about here is the RB53 currently, Alvin Kamara. So he's definitely a guy I think that will regress, and I'd like to have him on my team for the right price. I'm not blowing up my team for him, but if I can trade some bench pieces or, a starting piece and a piece on my bench, especially like a waiver guy I just added to upgrade to Kamara, I'll take that all day and night. So those are our buys. Those are guys I'm looking at. Send feeler offers out to the owners of these teams, see where they're at, start the negotiation. Don't lowball them, but, send something decent. Or if you don't want to, kind of feel like you're lowballing them, just send them a message, say, hey, look, I'm interested in Kamara. What are you thinking? I have these players I'm willing to part with, pick any two, and those are kind of the best trades I'm able to put together, because you kind of let them almost pick who you want, but you're kind of giving them players you're comfortable, giving away. So it's kind of like lightweight, making them feel like they're making the decision, but you're still kind of controlling it as well. Again, we're all on sales. Yeah. All right. So enough of that. I got to stop on the little small chatter here so we can get through it. You want to go through the cells here? Give me a chance to catch my breath. And
yeah. Sure, for sure. Yeah. So as we're starting with the running back sell category, we're looking at CEH at the RB4. He's not performing well, and I don't think he's going to be panning out for the rest of the season. And so, I think he's probably had a decent game last game, I think, or it just went down. Definitely somebody you want to move. Cordero Patterson, another guy that Anthony looking to sell. He's, again, had high games right now recently. But we're not sure if that's going to last for the season. So another guy that maybe you can move right now and sell high on and get somebody, who you really want on your team. Jamal Williams over here.
I'm going to interject right there real quick, just so you guys know. I had Patterson. I packaged him with Ayuk and was able to get Eckler. So it was a non-PPR league, which makes it a little more even than it kind of sounds. And we have a bonus for 100-yard rushing, which Cordell had hit. And so, in our league, it was, I thought it was a good trade for me, but these last 2 weeks after I made it after week 1 haven't been too great. So I wish I would have had Cordell still. Anyway.
And this is Jamal Williams in Detroit, right? So
yeah.
All right. So obviously Anthony.
Yeah, Jamal Williams, the current RB8, Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
You picked up off a waiver. He's going to be here for 2 weeks. If you can trade him right now, do it.
Yeah. The same thing with Khalil Herbert.
Current
He's here right now because David Montgomery went down, who's also on this list. We just don't want somebody on Chicago, basically, period.
Yes. Sell them while you can.
So
if you can.
sell those guys out. It's kind of like having somebody who's on here as well. Najee Harris. Well, not Najee Harris, but I was thinking the New England guys. I just don't like anybody who's on New England.
Damien Harris. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Damien Harris. Now we're looking at the RB12 and Gibson as well.
Because Brian Robinson's coming back.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Brian
Sell
Robinson
him off while you can.
is the new rookie coming in to replace this guy, and you might as well sell high if you can. Or
it's not a guarantee. I mean, he did get shot through the leg just 3 weeks ago, so it's not a guarantee. But again, it's one of those lotto tickets I'm willing to kind of bet on and live in with the result. Go ahead.
I just walk with a limp. I'm all right. You know.
There you go.
RB 19 Najee Harris is on here. What do you got? What do we got Najee on here? He's going down.
I'm trying to sell him, man. It's a terrible line. YPC is inefficient. No quarterback play. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, nothing's going right over there. RB 27, Michael Carter. That's because we got the new guy coming in over there, Breece Hall. So you might as well just get rid of this guy where you can, because they're still kind of splitting carries. So you show some value on that guy right now. But eventually by the end of the year, or even not that, a couple weeks from now, he's not going to be the guy anymore. He's going to be right in the pine and just being, slightly used over there in the team. We got the RB3 and Jeff Wilson. Is that RB? He's RB3 right now?
Probably 35.
Oh, there's a number missing after that. So
My bad.
Why.
My bad.
All right, that's why I was like, RB3, really?
My bad.
Jeff Wilson, for obvious reasons, he's going to be getting hurt over there. The whole situation in San Francisco. What do we got going on over there? We got a couple other guys coming in. Did you freeze on me yet?
No. Yeah, I did freeze. I'm getting my camera going again, but I could still hear and talk. Okay. Jeff Wilson's just on there because, again, he's like Jamal Williams. You're going to have him. I mean, he's a little longer. You're going to get him for 2 months. He's definitely clearly the RB1 there as long as he doesn't get hurt. But again, Mitchell is coming back. Sell him while you can if you can get a long-term piece, especially one of these, Eckler types, something like that.
And RB39, Zeke, for obvious reasons. It's, I would sell him high right now. He has been getting the touches and whatnot, but Tony Pollard will be evening out the carries with him, if not taking over the role eventually. I don't think it's going to be about the money or anything anymore. At some point, it's just going to be, we need to get these wins, and Tony Pollard is the guy to help us do that. So I would agree with Anthony on that one too, if you could sell on him. And we already mentioned David Montgomery over there. Just get rid of the Chicago guys while you can.
Yep. And go ahead.
Hold guys. We got hold guys, which is RB3 James Robinson.
Yeah.
Hold on to him. He's not going anywhere.
Just what you paid for him and the production you're getting, trading, you're going to be losing.
Yeah,
you're better off just holding him. And if he fizzles out, he didn't cost you anything, and you got all that profit. So
yeah, I mean,
unless you can trade into an Eckler
round. So I mean, like you're just getting all kinds of value from him. He's like having a diamond in the rough and getting that league winner almost, honestly, because he's what
zero RB drafters dream for.
Yeah, exactly. You get that guy late like that, and he's just killing it. Another guy that we're talking about, RB17, Breece Hall. Again, he's the one up and coming, taking over the spot over Michael Carter, over the Jets, and they're doing pretty good over there. The Jets, the Jets Jets, are doing some things, right?
Jets.
I'm just worried about when the quarterback change happens. Let's just see that they keep the ball rolling like that. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. I don't know. You like what's the name over Flacco? I can't even think of his name right now.
Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson.
No.
Flacco a better quarterback right now?
Not better. I just don't think Wilson's better. They're about the same, maybe a little worse. I just think Flacco's willing to, Flacco doesn't want to. So the problem is Wilson's going to have a little bit of rushing upside. He's a little more mobile than Flacco. I think the receptions to the running backs are going to decrease there. But I think the rushing will go up. Their defense is actually pretty decent, somewhat. They have some pieces that I think Quincy Williams, though, did get carted off last game, if I remember. So, we'll see how that happens. But I think it's just more of a changing of the guard. I think Breece Hall is just better than Michael Carter from a talent perspective. You see it on film. You see it on the tape. You see it in the numbers. It's just a matter of time before he takes over. So if you can buy him low now, buy him low.
Yeah, he's passing the
or just buy him. Yeah.
RB18, Jamal Williams here. Another guy that you have also on the list. Just hold on to him. I know he's carrying, doing a lot of sharing with Melvin Gordon over there, but he should be fine. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to panic about.
Javonte Williams, but yeah.
I always get the freaking Williams part of it.
It's okay. I know. You called Javonte Jamal and Jamal Javonte. Next time I'll type it out for you.
It's just Williams. Just call him Williams.
There you go. They're both there. So, and I do got my camera coming back, guys. I do know it's out.
And we're holding on to Pollard. Obviously, don't get rid of him. He's going to be the next up and comer. as we're selling Zeke. So definitely hold on to him. Had a pretty decent game this last game, and he's eaten up more touches and passes as well. So definitely hold on to him, and he's a value. Don't sell, don't trade, just hold on to him. Who do we got? James Conner as well. He had a slight injury. The team's not doing all that great over there, but things will get straightened out over there in Arizona. And once D Hop gets back, especially when that happens, it'll open up Connor a lot more. And he's the only one that eats over there, anyways, right? He's literally the only guy, right?
I'm
So
fixing my camera, but I agree. Whatever you're saying.
who else is he coming with, right?
Who are we talking about? Connor? Yeah.
Connor. Yeah. Who else is
He'll be
over
back.
there? Nobody. There's nobody over there. So you might as well, you got to hold the one guy because he's definitely a lead number one. What do we got? RB36, Travis Etienne, another guy to hold on to. For the obvious reasons, he's right behind James Robinson, and they're basically splitting carries pretty evenly. And he may be the next guy up to bat to really start taking. But I think right now, it's Robinson's job to lose. I think personally is because he's playing so well.
I think Etienne has a role. They don't really have bona fide receivers, outside of Kirk, who's definitely not an alpha. I mean, he's a slot receiver. I don't think he's like as good as Godwin. He's definitely demanding the target share right now. But I think again, once Etienne, we got to remember he's only played 3 NFL games so far. We're expecting him to be a third-year pro already. Give him some time. He's definitely a playmaker. You watch his tape. So again, just those kind of guys are guys I want on my team. So I'm holding him if I have him. And that's that. I definitely don't want to sell.
We got going on is running back 47.
Cam Akers, man. I want to see what happens, man. Put up a dud week 1.
Yeah.
Came back out. Wasn't great week 2. Everyone is on the Hendo train week 3. Everybody started, including me. Thought he was gonna, they were gonna turn it over. And they just flip flop. They give Akers all the touches. I think Hendo only got like 4. And we're into like some weird hot hand approach. I just want to see it out. I think just this Rams offense will maybe have a little Super Bowl hangover. Once they get their feet under them, they should be able to hit stride. Being in that offense, the opportunities that Akers will have, if he's that guy we thought he was going to be last year before he tore that Achilles, that's that position, that running back position on the Rams is worth something. So I want to at least hold on to a piece of it.
And I just want to go real quick to the reads here. That Solo Cup is asking whose role is Brian Robinson needing into more, Gibson or J.D. McKissick? Not a pass catching back, I'll tell you that. Gibson is definitely, because Gibson is the main back over there right now. J.D. McKissick is the third down back, and just sporadic spell guy or whatever. So he's literally going to replace the number one guy, Gibson, and maybe change the way that whole backfield's even working.
For sure. So, all right, so let's get to the receivers, and we can get out of here.
I'll look into it,
for sure. And again, anything you guys want to bring up again, if we don't get to here in the show, make sure you join that sleeper channel, and we'll get to you guys there. But I want to make sure I can even do this again for you. I don't want the wifey getting too upset here, being out here a little late, but that's okay. We bring it to you guys, right? No. All right, so wide receiver buys, man. People I'm looking to get, and I'm just going to rattle off through these. I'm looking to get, Justin Jefferson if I can. Like I said, he's untradeable. If there's a window, get it. Devontae Adams, underproducing. Chase, underproducing. Mike Evans coming off suspension. It's what have you done for me lately? Fantasy players, some of them have such in the moment, thought process. They're just like, I need someone else. You put up a 0, and they don't really understand why. So if you can get that guy, go get him. Wide receiver 51, Brandon Cooks, same thing. Has the potential, improved offense and a little bit improved defense. Still no other competing, threats there. Like, things will correct themselves, especially in PPR. I'm buying myself some Brandon Cooks. Same thing with DJ Moore. I'm a buyer. If I can get him super cheap, I'm trying to buy him. So, and then same thing, wide receiver 96 right now, Keenan Allen, again, out of sight, out of mind. If you can get him, looks like he's back to practice this week. Go grab him. As far as wide receiver sells, we have Curtis Samuel, who's currently sitting at wide receiver 8. Hollywood Brown sitting at wide receiver 9. We've talked about a lot this show. Wide receiver 15, Garrett Wilson. Wide receiver 18, Devonta Smith. These guys I'm just kind of looking to sell. Obviously, Devonta coming off that big game. I don't know how consistent that could potentially be. It's going to be hard to know when to start him, when to sit him. So guys like that, I'd rather kind of trade off when you have an opportunity to get somebody that you just kind of set and forget. So that's what I'm doing there. As far as wide receivers, I'm holding because of like where you drafted them and the production they're getting right now. You would just be selling low if you were selling them. Would be someone like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think what he's doing, he can sustain. Christian Kirk, I've kind of come around until I see something different. I at least want to hold him for now. I mean, unless you can turn him, of course, into like Chase or Cup and kind of package and do something crazy. I really like Drake London right now. I believe he's the wide receiver 15 currently. Like what he's doing. So if I have him, I'm holding, not looking to sell him. And I mean, maybe you can technically have some of these guys that are holds, technically kind of buys. And then wide receiver 21, Chris Olave. I think you're happy with his production. Definitely hold on to him, kind of see how it plays out, especially if Thomas might be a little banged up. It's scary to see what his ceiling might be coming off a 147-yard game. So there it is. As far as tight ends, like I said earlier, don't really talk tight ends. Either get Kelsey or Andrews, like that's who you're trying to buy. Otherwise, they're just tight
Everybody
ends.
else is the same.
So just any tight end you have, add something with it. Go get Kelsey or Andrews if you can. And then, like we mentioned, just PSA announcement: Jameson Williams, Brian Robinson should not be sitting on your waiver wires. The potential that these guys have, that you can get for essentially free. Pick them up if you have an IR spot. Put them in your IR. I don't know about just picking them up yet. Maybe your leagues aren't quite aware of them, and it's going to be kind of a game of chicken on who's going to pull them first if you don't have like an IR spot. But I'd definitely rather be a week early than a week late on hearing that news that as soon as you get any kind of news that Robinson and Williams are coming back, their price is going to go up until we see what their actual production is, and that buy window is going to close. So
you're not going to be able to get the guy in, period.
Be early versus
or
being
then you're going to
late.
have to pay. Then you're going to have to pay instead of getting them free.
Pay more than what you can get. Yeah, get them now within the wire. So other than that, man, we're way past our time that we wanted to go. But we appreciate all the new subscribers, man. I'll do it every week and go late if we're getting this many new subscribers, man. I really appreciate it. Tell your friends about us. And again, if you have subscribed already, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us just as much as a new subscribe. Remember, when we do have to hit those 600 subscribers, we are giving away that Gabe Davis jersey. So definitely check it out. 600 subscriber giveaway. Get in there, hit that subscribe button for us. So other than that, man, I'm excited to get through this. We'll see how injuries, things like that play out here through practice through the end of the week. Sorry we didn't really get to our start sit for the Thursday night game, but basically who you're sitting on the Bengals and the Dolphins for the most part. It's not really that much of rocket science there for those guys where you drafted them. You're starting them. Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Mixon. If you need to spot start Hurst, throw them in there, I guess.
Yeah.
And then of course Tua, if you have them, maybe that's a little bit of debate we could get into. But again, hopefully you have an idea of the values. Where we're at, who the type of guys you would want to start them over. Your Brady's, your Wilsons. I would maybe take the trigger or pull the trigger on starting them over guys like that. Edmonds, I probably feel comfortable starting if you're in a spot, as an RB2 or a flex. And then, Gesicki, I'm sitting, and Hill and Waddle, you're firing up. So there you go. Done.
That's it. Done.
All right. Perfect. So, perfect. Well done. All right, man. So, again, we appreciate everybody. We'll be back here with you guys on Friday. We'll be here at 8 p.m. Pacific. And I believe that's 11 o'clock Eastern for you East Coast folks, if you're even still here with us tonight. So we'll see you here on Friday. We'll do the start sit, and then we'll be back here with you on Sunday for any questions that we can't answer on Friday because of injury designations, things like that. We will have our last-minute start sit show starting at 8 a.m. Pacific. I think that's like 11, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock Eastern. And we'll take you right up to game time. We'll do some DFS lineups, some parlays, some pick'ems, and have a lot of fun with that. So make sure you get in here and, have fun with us, man. And we'll keep doing what we can to help you get your lineups right. So what was that question you had up there?
He just Red Solo Cup was just asking how to enter the giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe, man. All you have to do is be a subscriber.
There it is, man. Hit subscribe.
Pay attention.
Make sure you have those notifications on because we will do a whole video just for the giveaway. We're going to let you know in that video. You're going to have to watch it, find out whatever code we come up with at that time. We've been known to change the code too. So in the comments, you might see 1, 2, 3 different codes. That's how we know who's reading or who's listening from start to finish. So that's just my little 2 cents. Make sure you listen to the entire show on that giveaway, because only one of those hashtags is going to be the true one. So there it is, man. Again, get in that sleeper channel with us. And man, we can keep going for hours. So I'm just going to cut it here, man.
Yeah, we gotta go.
For Frank, for Dustin, for Classic Mike, for all of us here in Get Right, man, for all of our affiliates, man. We'll see you guys on Friday. Unless there's anything else you have, Frank.
No, we're good.
You ready to get out of here, man?
Yeah. Call it a
All
night.
right, man.
I'm tired. Thanks, guys.
Let's do it,
Thanks
man.
for watching. Appreciate the subscribes and the likes.
For sure.
We'll be here next time. We'll start all over again. Read all you guys' comments, answer as many questions we have time for. And good luck in your leagues, man.
There it is. All right, man. We're out.